world? It's the Laugh Away from Home podcast advocating comedy for mental health. And we're going to show you the gems of the process through the feeling, the healing, the planning, and the action. And I got a special guest, a very special guest, all the way from St. Louis, man. Stand-up comedian, actor, writer, cinematographer. Give it up for my brother Tahir Moore.
Hey, what's up,
Come
gang?
on now. We need the little beam, 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 beam.
They're gonna add that to it.
You know what I'm saying? For real, man.
What's up with you, man? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, man. You've been working. I ain't gonna lie, man. I get
man.
really inspired by seeing your page and seeing the things that you're involved with, and just being able to balance everything is beautiful, dog.
Balance is key, man, and that shit is. It's always an ongoing process because your life is going to change and you're going to have other responsibilities. And yeah, man, it's hard, but it's what it takes out here. It's crazy because being a comic now is not just a singular thing. Like, you have to be a comic, you have to be an editor, you have to be a host, you have to be a podcaster, you have to be your marketing team.
You gotta be going content crazy.
Everything, man. Yeah. So we don't have the luxury of, you know what I'm saying, just
being
doing
an artist
comedy.
no more. Yeah.
But even back then, like, niggas was out there passing out flyers. 20 years ago, you know, like, you never just had
barbershops, nail salons.
Malls.
Come on now.
Yeah, I would be going to open mics for like poetry and passing out like comedy flyers. So
I still do all that, by the way. And shameless plug, March 28th, we got Tahir Moore at Petty Cash Studios performing live with Lexi Kennedy, Jasmine Carter, and your favorite host, your auntie's favorite host, Worldwide Hugo. You already know the vibes. Had to plug that in there. But
as you should.
How's your New Year going so far, man?
Oh, it's been shit, baby.
Yeah,
it's been a crazy New Year, man. Me and the old lady got into it on New Year's Eve.
God damn, did y'all kiss on New Year's?
Nah. We missed the ball dropping, man. But we was having a serious conversation that needed to be had. I mean, like, it's, you know, me and my wife, we coming up on 12 years.
12 years.
We've known each other since 2005 and been fucking around since 2005 and got married in 2013.
Yeah.
And every so often you just have to have those real conversations, and I'm thankful that my wife has been patient with me to get to a place where I'm able to have effective communication. Because at first I was really good at having a lot of surface conversations, and I didn't understand the necessity for being able to go deeper. But she was very patient with me, and then between her and therapy, I learned how to communicate a lot more effectively. And so now, like, even when we have those difficult conversations, it's not one of those blow up things and, you know, somebody's leaving and shit like that. It's one of those things like, man, this was tough. All right, but we need to see it through. So
piggybacking off that, how do you deal with the rough conversations because, you know, a lot of us, especially men, and I'm not going to say just men because it's women too, especially now with them being more masculine figures in the way that the world's going. But with men, because I'm a man and I'm speaking about us, how are you able to cope with dealing with the deep conversations that come off very attacking? Like, because, you know, in a conversation where you're talking about something that may be dealing with something that you are having trouble with or something that you may not have addressed before, some people are just better at talking about serious and deep things than others, and it could get overstimulating. It could get. So what's your process of dealing with the I guess the shock factor of having to have that conversation and not be feeling like the relationship is changing because of the conversation?
Absolutely. It's an amazing question. The first thing I have to do is take my ego out of the situation. That's very important. Being able to...
He giving y'all gems because the ego was what I was thinking naturally.
You have to have ego depth when you're dealing with a partner, a life partner, somebody that makes decisions with you. Y'all make life decisions together, whether it's financial, whether it's health, whether it's mental, whatever. And understand that if this is your partner, this is the person that you committed to growing and gaining interest and learning from, then you have to understand that they're typically, if they're addressing something, they're coming from a place of love. And it may be a situation where something is lacking in a certain place. And so it may come off rough, but it's a lot of emotion and energy behind what they're trying to tell you. And if this person is the person that you believe them to be, then you know they're not coming with malice. They're telling you something that can help take you guys to the next level.
Yeah.
Because it might be lacking currently. So taking your ego out of it helps you hear that person and not immediately put up the defenses. So you were like trying to defend yourself, like, I only did that because of this. And that might be a case you might have did it but that means it's some tit for tat shit. So if you're doing some tit for tat shit, that's still something y'all need to talk about.
Facts.
You need to address, you need to work through. So hearing your partner with no ego and hearing them knowing that they're not coming from a place of malice just to like tear you down and attack you and make you hurt. They're telling you something because it could help y'all grow as a couple, or it could help you be a better person in the relationship, but also all around, business wise, better friend, all that type of stuff. So
okay, so I hear you talk about that with your spouse, but does that same thing apply to you for like your friends? Because some people take relationships and your spouse a little bit different than like your friends or people that you're working with. So like, is that same process like how you cope with your friends getting on you for certain shit, or keeping you accountable, or addressing real deep conversations that could feel like the dynamic is changing?
Yeah, I think the people that you have close to you that feel comfortable enough to bring something like that to you, those are people that genuinely deserve to be heard out.
For sure.
Not everybody's gonna come to you and be like, "Yo, man, you really been fucking up with your finances," or "Yo, man, you really been fucking up with your relationship or fucking up at home." Anybody that feels comfortable enough to have that conversation with you on some personal shit is potentially somebody that you should take heed to and listen and see what they're talking about. Even if you don't agree, like hearing a person out doesn't hurt anything, and you never know, you might learn something about you, because a lot of people think that they're self-aware, but it's impossible to be self-aware of everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Some things you just do unconsciously and you don't realize the intent might not be to hurt someone's feelings or like fuck somebody's day up, but it could do that.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the actions might not match the intent. Mm-hmm. So, it's cool to listen to people, because I don't listen to like the people that I'm just cool with, that I speak to on the flies and shit like that. They ain't fit to come to me and no shit like that. The only people that will come to me on some shit like that will be people that are invited in that space and I trust in the first place to hear them out. So
for sure.
But all of that makes a difference in the different relationships that you have. Like being able to communicate better with my wife allowed me the position to communicate better with friends.
That's where I was kind of
communicate better in the business. Like I was one of those people, I try to avoid conflict. So in a situation where I might need to speak up to demand more money or request more money or something like that, I would just hope that the person would say it, you know what I'm saying, or start high and then we can be somewhere. But now if somebody comes in with an offer and I ain't feeling it, I'm like, no, I can't do it for that.
Shout out for him giving me a little deal on the show. Like I said, shameless plug, March 28th, Petty Cash Studios, Laugh Away from Home comedy show. You know the vibes.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you, so out of all the different creative mediums that you're involved in, like from cinematography, acting, directing, stand-up comedy, like which one of those really feeds your soul?
Probably comedy.
Like stand-up?
Stand-up comedy. Making somebody laugh is just, it's a superpower, bro. Yeah. I'll never stop saying that. Like a lot of times we take traumatic events and find a way to cope with them. And once you've coped with them, then you can kind of talk about it. So to take a traumatic event, flip it on its head, make it into something humorous.
Right.
And then not only make it into something humorous to you, but you can entertain a crowd, an audience, some of who have never seen you before, don't know you, and they are laughing at that pain that you flipped, and now you have control over it and it's not controlling you. That's a superpower.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to be able to do that in the midst of wildfires.
Yes.
In the midst of COVID, in the midst of job loss, family members
in the midst of Donald Trump inauguration on Martin Luther King Day.
Whatever.
That was crazy.
Be able to compartmentalize what you're going through as an individual to help other people get through that day or through their week is a superpower. I don't take it lightly. So comedy is definitely one of those things that I feel like I get the most joy from.
Yeah.
But then acting immediately after that, because it gives us an opportunity, especially, like the Black and brown kids that grew up with nothing or not having a father. It gives you an opportunity to transform into the father you wish you had. It gives you the opportunity to transform into the Bruce Wayne figure or the Tony Stark figure that had it all growing up. You know what I mean? Like it gives you an opportunity, one, to show characters that look like you, no matter what position they're in, but it also gives you an opportunity to see what life would have been like had you done that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Grew up that way. So I love acting. You just play and pretend.
Yeah. Right? I love that. So out of the mediums again that you're involved with, which one are you more known for?
Probably the online world. You know what I'm
Online,
saying?
like
I
content
think,
creation.
yeah, content creation and you know what I mean? I've done a lot of shows, Insecure, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Abbott. Abbott,
Come on now.
I get a lot of
Abbott Elementary,
recognition.
come on now.
Hey man,
Everybody can't say that.
it's a blessing. It's
Abbott
a blessing.
Elementary, come on now.
Yeah,
They
2
just did a whole
seasons.
new season and shit too.
Just got greenlit for the 5th season.
Come on now.
But all the shows that I've been on, with the exception of maybe Abbott, people really don't recognize me on the street from that every now and then. But the stuff that we did at All Deaf, you know, I got recognized in London, I got recognized in Barcelona, I got recognized in Amsterdam, Jamaica. You know, I'm in places working on other stuff, Aruba, Alaska, and then people are recognizing me from All Deaf. So All Deaf is just it was an amazing platform and medium to help me get to the next level and kind of just springboard me there.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So, if you had to choose a project that you was a part of, like what would be your favorite project that you're a part of, or that maybe hasn't come out yet that you are a part of? Or is it All Deaf?
Well, All Deaf is definitely up there. Like that's going to be probably in my top 3 forever.
Forever.
Just because of the impact that it made, the reach that it had, the knowledge that I gained. You know, we were working on All Deaf, and it was, you know, in front of the camera, all glitz and glamour, but realistically, we were operating probably at a deficit as far as like how many people we should have had for some of the productions we were doing.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people that were wearing multiple hats. You know, you might have been producing. We might not have had a budget for the PA. So you might have been producing and taking lunch orders and walking the guests into the waiting room. You were wearing multiple hats. But that afforded you the luxury of learning at a super fast pace and learning how to do things on a shoestring budget.
Yeah.
So when you go into a place that has a super big budget, you be like, hey, this is gonna cost me this much. They be like, what? But you don't have this and this? I'm like, oh, well, I didn't need that. And so a lot of times in Hollywood, it's not just about the talent. The talent really makes up 20-30%. It's about what you can do, what needs you can solve, what problems you can fix. And so you come in.
What resources you have.
What resources you have, what knowledge base you have. If somebody's producing the same type of show, let's say this podcast, right? And let's say that, you know, we're doing this in the studio. We got Doe on the switch and he's switching the cameras and stuff like that. You paying what you paying for an hour. Let's say that it costs like $300 an hour, right? But you can get this done because you found the place where it has a switcher and they live switcher, so you don't have to do a whole lot of editing. You put your title card on the front and then credits on the back and all that type of stuff. So whole project costs you $450, right?
Right.
Versus somebody who's like, all right, cool, I booked this studio, I got 3 cameramen, I'm paying them $200 per camera.
Just to shoot, then the edits, then the
so now this whole project is going to cost you
$1,000 an episode.
So $1,000-$1,200 an episode. But you come in with the knowledge like, no, I just need to find a place where they have live switching. Yeah. Right? Now I can get this done for $600 or less. Yeah. Versus this $1,012. Now you just solved the problem for them. You showed them how to save $400 on a weekly basis, which turns into $1,200 a month. You multiply that by 12, you're saving them over $10,000 a year just by coming in with the previous knowledge. Yeah. So like you're solving a problem. So Hollywood, even like getting casted is a problem because they got to get this casted, but like being able to come in and offer something, not just expect something, right, makes a big difference in Hollywood. Correct.
So I saw that you were a 7th grade science teacher in St. Louis public schools. How was that, you know, with being a part of such a big platform, Abbott Elementary? Because Abbott Elementary is all about like the school system. Yeah. How did that mirror each other, or did it not mirror like you saw?
Abbott does a great job of addressing a lot of things that like teachers really have to go through. Like when I was a 7th grade science teacher, I had 31 students in my classroom, my homeroom, and my typical classes range between 28 and 32 students. And that's with no TA. Right. I didn't have any teacher's assistant. Right. I had to be able to control the temperature and the energy of the classroom. I had to control and ensure the learning environment. Yeah. I had to make sure that we were up to specs. And I'm doing it a lot of times with no assistance from the parents. A lot of the kids were products of single parent households. Sometimes the parents are working multiple jobs. So, you know, they're working in the daytime with the kids at school. They're also working at night. They're not checking the homework. They're not reinforcing the tools and the boundaries that I'm trying to set for them. So it's kind of a thankless job in a sense, because when the student's doing bad, you got to get on them. The student's mad at you. Parent finds out late, or they find out that the child isn't doing well. They're mad at you. Now they're calling up to the school, cussing out the principal. Now the principal might be mad at you. The school board is on your ass about test scores, but
On
the
your
kids aren't
ass.
retaining the information. Now the school board is mad at you. So it's a very polarizing job. But when it works well, when the students do retain the information, when the test scores reflect the teaching that you've provided them with, then it's a beautiful thing. But you really have it's like comedy. You got to have a passion for it, because it's a thankless job. We get paid, underpaid like crazy.
Like most men that work on the back of trash trucks make more than teachers. Like I know in North Carolina, the people who collect trash start at like $40,000. And as a teacher in North Carolina, you're not going to start at
around 28.
It's going for you to get that extra $12,000. It's going to take you 12 years in the school system.
Or you're going to have a master's and be on the fast track for becoming a principal or assistant principal, something like that. It's not a job for the faint of heart. I'll say that
for sure.
But it is very rewarding. Like I said, when you do see the hard work pay off, or when a student, I've had many students hit me up since then on Facebook, like, yo, you were my 7th grade science teacher. You made learning really fun. Because I used to take them out the classroom to do learning. Like, we learned about inertia on the steps. We went outside to draw the clouds so we can identify them, and being able to identify wind speed and things of that nature. I took learning outside of the classroom so they didn't get mundane. It didn't get boring. You know, I wouldn't give them a chance to let their eyes glaze over when we were talking about something difficult or something very in-depth. So we would take breaks. We would play Kanye 808s and Heartbreaks in the morning. Like, that was the morning song. Everybody come in, do the reading, relax.
That'll have you hype anyway. Like, I love Mr. Moore.
You got to get them hype about, and it also like bridges the gap. It's like, I'm not just as an adult that doesn't get you guys. I'm not that far removed that I don't remember what it was like to be in 7th grade when your body starts changing. And you start to feel yourself and smell yourself. Or also like in a situation where your parents not around and you're the oldest of 3 or 4, so you have to make sure that your siblings are getting fed and getting bed. Like, I had that at a very young age too. I moved out at 14, so like I know what it's like to be on your own. I know
moved out at 14 in St. Louis. And what? Okay, so we're not going to ignore that. How does that work? Because Cat Williams moved out at about 12
I didn't get in the back of no truck and go down to Florida and nothing like that. It was I stayed with friends and family. And
how you know Cougar that was trying to?
Not then. So at 14 I got shot. I got stabbed. I got kidnapped, set on fire. I didn't even realize I had got kidnapped.
Rewind.
Until I was doing a podcast.
You ever heard of, in poetry when they tell you to rewind?
Yeah, rewind.
Yeah, let's get that again.
So a lot of people already heard the story, but my uncle sold a lot of dope when I was in middle school. And he had a couple of houses, and some cats caught me coming off the bus. Took me to a bando and was trying to get information on one of my uncle's spots, and I didn't have it. I was already tied up at this point, and they just threw the kerosene on me, lit me and dipped. Wires caught on fire, not the wires, rope caught on fire.
So you weren't tripping about the wildfires?
I mean,
that's crazy to ask.
Wild nigga, bro. You a wild nigga, bro.
You weren't tripping about the wildfires. You like, nigga, I really do this shit.
Here's the thing. You learn from your mistakes. You know what I mean? So I wasn't finna stick around to find out.
Facts.
I didn't even realize this is how polarizing the hood and growing up in an urban environment where certain necessities aren't present. And also like a certain mentality is the popular thing. Like
it's trauma.
I didn't realize I was kidnapped. I thought niggas had just caught me lacking. Like
that's like some shit. Like, oh, niggas do this every day, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally talking to Doe on the podcast, and was like, so you were kidnapped? I was like, no, they called me. They was like, no. Bro, I was like, nigga, I was 14. I couldn't have been kidnapped. It was like, kidnapping doesn't have an age limit, nigga. Like,
no, it's grown men getting kidnapped out here, bro.
Yeah. And I found that out later too. So, had a kid at 14, got shot at 14. The got shot part.
You had a kid at 14?
Had a kid at 14.
Man.
Yep.
You took life by the goddamn horns.
Yeah, man. And I used to have my son with me in high school because his mama would drop him off and then just dip. Are
y'all still?
I found out he wasn't my son when he turned 18.
Bro, you smacking me in the face with all of this shit, man.
His was really gonna fuck you up. So I used to catch the bus because I lived in East St. Louis.
Do we
but
still
went to
got
school
liquor in here? What's
in
going
St.
on?
Louis.
Like, can I get a shot, nigga? What the fuck?
I went to school in St. Louis. I lived in East St. Louis, right? East St. Louis is in Illinois. Got the Mississippi River. The next major city right after the Mississippi River is St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I would catch, like, the bus that I'm talking about that they caught me on was the public bus. It wasn't like the school bus. This is
it's a city bus, some grown shit.
I would catch the city bus to downtown East St. Louis, and I would catch the Metrolink across the bridge, and then I would take that to a stop in St. Louis, and I would have to catch another bus to get to high school. And I would do the same thing in reverse going home. But if I'm going home to pick up my son, catch the bus, the Kings Highway bus, to the hospital, get off there, get on the Metrolink, go over to the east side, get off at the east side, and then I would catch this bus called the Belleville bus, because my daughter's mom, my son's mother went to high school in Belleville. Now, here's a crazy thing, right? My wife went to that high school that my baby mom was going to. My now wife remembers me coming up there to meet my baby mama, so we'd walk over to her house to go get my son. So I'd walk back to the main street and catch the bus and go back down to East St. Louis with my son.
Man.
She was like, I remember you coming up there. I'm like, who is this nigga? Why is he always coming up here talking to this chick? Not even knowing.
Not even knowing.
This is 90. It's 99.
Shout out
98.
to dope ass fatherhood, because y'all be acting like niggas don't be out here taking care of their kids. At 14, niggas walking to go make sure they spend that time, man. Shout out to black fathers out here being enthusiastic about putting seeds into the world, not just fucking.
Yeah, there ain't no more of that shit now, nigga. I'm snip, baby. So you bitches ain't getting not a goddamn thing from your boy.
Hey,
not a goddamn thing.
So that was the only child. Not really your child, but child.
Yeah, so when my wife started dating in college, me and my now wife started dating in college, 2005. I never wanted to be married, mind you. I was like, I'm from the streets. Once I found out my son wasn't for my son, I ain't have no respect for women.
That should have had you.
No respect for women. One girl, I will always apologize to her every chance I get. I never say her name.
You want to say her name?
Nope. She know who she is, and I'm sorry.
What she
I went
look
to
like?
our family. I did
What
her,
like?
I did her cousin and her aunt.
What she look
bad. Like? Everybody was bad.
What city is she from?
Hey, don't even trip off of that. You trying to get too much information, my boy. You fast? Just know, don't take me to your family reunion. Because if there's some baddies there, I'm fucking.
I'm just saying. But so, hold on. Quick. Speaking of, now that I'm thinking about how crazy your life is and how all of this shit is just, everybody wants to hear more. To hear more, is that a sentence of literally saying to hear more? Or is that your name?
That's how I help people remember.
So that's your name, though.
My name is Tahir Moore. It's actually Tahir. It's an Arabic name. It's a West African name. It's Tahir. But for the English tongue, I say to hear more. Like, would you like to hear more? That's how I help people to remember.
Okay, bet.
Or to hear more, press 1. Like on movie phone, when they used to be like, to hear more about this, press 1. So, fast forward 2005, I meet my wife in college. We hanging out. We having a good ass time. She got my nose wide open. 2 weeks in, she was like, yo, I got to tell you something. I'm thinking she finna say she loved me.
Oh.
I think she finna tell me she loved me, because we spending hella time together, right? Every day. She was like, I'm pregnant.
I don't know why I predicted
Mind you,
that's crazy.
Mind you, I ain't fucked yet.
She pregnant and you love her and you ain't fucked her yet.
We 2 weeks in. She
and
2
you
months
how
pregnant.
old?
She's 2 months pregnant.
And you how old?
At this point, 2005, I was 21. I just
Bro, by 21, you had went through so much motherfucking street shit, heartbreak.
Yeah.
Oh, a nigga, how did you stay alive?
You know what, bro? I don't know.
Bro, that's a lot to deal with, bro.
Yo, it's
from 14 to 21, 7 years of you getting stabbed, shot, finding out your kid not yours, falling in love with a bitch and being open about her, and then goddamn, she hit you with the nigga, I'm pregnant. And you like
not a bitch though. Wife not a bitch.
And
I know he didn't mean it like that. I know this how we talk, but for my wife's sake, I gotta defend her order. Mind you, I be saying bitch too.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
For the viewers, not even for your wife, for the viewers, for the people, for the syndication that I'm trying to get from this mental health podcast. I do apologize, but I was thrown off. The interview was supposed to go.
When we get in that mode, I get it. I ain't saying no offense. Cause I just have to do that for my wife. Cause listen, let me tell you something. Before I go on, let me clarify this. My wife.
Yes. And this is a shout out, shameless plug.
My wife is the most important person in my life. Her and my daughter, their safety is paramount. It's not a question of what I will do or what lengths I will go to protect them. Just know I have looked death in the eye many times, and I will stare that bitch down for their protection. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't got to question that. She knows this.
I love
knows
that.
this hands down.
Black love is real, y'all.
Yeah.
Even if you in the industry pushing and trailblazing your career, it is possible. Y'all bullshit.
Yeah, I promise you. You get a good woman by your side, my dude.
Keep her.
You can do anything.
Anything.
Ain't nothing. I'm telling y'all, man. I was fucked up on some communication shit, but I thought I was so good at it because I could talk to anybody, but I couldn't get deep with anyone. I had all of these barriers up because I moved out so early. I had to defend myself, so I didn't let people in. I forced myself to not be ticklish, bitch. I was not.
No, that's a real thing. No, I'm not
thing.
ticklish either, bro. Females try to tickle me all the time, like, and I'm gonna be real. It's a mental thing. The ticklish thing, like trauma and tickles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
it's
what.
Uncontrollable. You can't stop that shit, right?
Yeah,
and I don't like nobody having that much power over me.
You literally can tell yourself like what they're doing. Don't like I've had somebody mess with the bottom of my foot before, and like I can feel it, but in my head I'm like, nah.
But ain't that crazy how the brain works?
Yeah.
Like people can tickle you, but you can't tickle yourself
at all.
Your brain knows it's your hand, and your brain be like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you doing? That's crazy.
I guess it's the dynamic of it being like random too, like it being like a random stimulation versus something that is like.
I think it's not random, it's uncontrolled.
Okay, yeah.
Because you can know the person, you can know they finna do it. Like,
you're right.
They get you.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not random.
And then
it'd be random if you was fighting and a nigga, while you throwing hands, a nigga come behind like, coochie coo, like, bitch, what the fuck wrong with you? That would be random. Right? So it's out of your control that you can't do it.
How crazy would it be for you to be beating a nigga up and another nigga come behind you talking about coochie coochie?
Hey, nigga, but what if that was you? What if that was your job? You going to clubs just looking for niggas to tickle in the middle of a fight. Nigga, that'd be wild. That's how you blow up.
Bruh, we need the Ray-Ban glasses for that so people can see that shit.
But so didn't want to be married. Wife told me she was 2 months pregnant after hanging out for 2 weeks. We hung out for a little bit. Then the dad was like, mind you, he wasn't there when she was born. I was at the hospital before my wife's sister and mom was there. I'm been the only dad she know. Then the bio dad tried to come back around. That was a waste of time. I moved out. Long story short, I moved out here in 2009. Went on tour a couple times. In 2011, I went back home to help my sister open up her second location of her business.
Yeah.
I went looking for my wife January 7th, 2012. I found her. We spent every day together until April 1st when I came back home. At that time, I had a roommate in Hollywood. I told him, I was like, yo, I feel like it's getting serious. I think I'm going to move her out here. He was like, yo, y'all can keep the place. Told the landlord, hey, he moving out. I'm going to stay here. Landlord didn't really fuck with black people like that. My roommate was Filipino.
Yeah.
He made me leave. All good. Went to Glendale, better schools anyway. Yeah. Found a spot. Moved my wife out there June 2nd, 2012. Proposed July 27th, 2012. Married March 17th, 2013. When you know what the fuck you want, you don't waste no time doing
at all. You gonna go get it.
I would not moving her out here to follow me and chase a dream that has no guaranteed success. I mean, no guaranteed route of success. No matter what you do, you're not guaranteed to succeed in this shit. And I know how much family was to her. So to take her from her family, move her out here to chase a dream with me.
You had to be serious about that
shit.
Nigga? You got to
put a ring on it immediately,
But that's some manhood shit, though. A lot of niggas don't realize that manhood is being able to make the decision. Not sitting in the decision, not juggling the decision, not balancing the decisions, but making the decision and having it be hard for other people that don't matter as much. Like, as a man, there's a lot of women who feel still attached to you and still feel like they could slide in, but you solidifying your wife in that sense does a lot for your career. It does a lot for y'all communication. It does a lot for her, you know, without being with you while you on tour.
Yeah.
Because as a comedian, as a writer, as a director, just being in the industry in general, people have to be looking at you. People have to be attracted. People have to want to pull up. People have to want to guess. People have to want to know. And sometimes being in a relationship that isn't fully communicated can create a situation where you got blockage and this person is dealing with like misconceptions of how you're going out, treating them with them not being there. You know what I'm saying?
Me and my wife, before the night I proposed, I had a jacuzzi in the room. It was like jacuzzi tub, but it was really just a jacuzzi. It was a nice ass room. And we sat in that jacuzzi and we marveled at our lives and what it could be. But we also had a conversation about what it would take for each one of us to get up from the table and walk away.
Yeah.
Which is a very important thing. I feel like every relationship should definitely have that. You sit down and talk to your partner about what would it take for them to walk away. What's too much? And that's important because that's going to give you the intro to those difficult conversations. Like at the point where I'm at now, like me and my wife, we have a completely untraditional relationship.
Yeah.
Like I have a whole girlfriend.
What's
Yeah.
I was gonna ask what's untraditional, but you got a girlfriend and a wife.
Mm-hmm. They know each other. We vacation together. We all got tattoos.
Damn.
We invest together. I go to St. Louis in February.
Damn, y'all got matching tattoos. Y'all travel together. How in the fuck?
Nigga, communication is crazy.
And you still got your hairline dealing with 2 women.
You goddamn right. It's
man, that shit
my
is
hairline thick.
It's
my
men out here going
OnlyFans page. That's how thick my hairline is. That bitch is packed.
That nigga said my hairline needs an OnlyFans page. That's how thick it is.
Yep.
Listen, y'all, I just want to let y'all know women will stress you, and having 2 women will definitely have your hairline looking like doughboys. But
nigga caught her straight from around the corner. Goddamn, he hit you with a warning bullet.
Nah, but like to pivot into a different part of that, like what was a monumental point of your career where you started to understand that you were like on the top half of the work? Like, cause regardless you're gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a certain point, even where you were talking about solidifying the success for your wife and shit, where there's a certain point where, okay, I don't even know if I'm going to be in the running. Now, but when is the moment that you got in the race where you like, oh, I'm in the industry now? Like, this is...
You know what? I don't know if there was a specific moment.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period of time where shows began to come easier than they had been before.
Okay.
And that let me know I had put in
that work.
The work. Like, when people hitting me up, asking me if I want to do that show versus me running around town chasing people, begging them to get on that show.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, okay, this is a shift, right? And then the all deaf thing happened, and that was like Kev reaching out to me,
shift,
and started part time because I taught 3 years as a 7th grade science teacher. I taught 2.5 years out here at the jail up at Pitchers Detention Center in Santa Clarita or Castile. That's actually on fire right now. So I taught as a teacher up there for 2.5 years before the all deaf thing happened. One thing about me is I'm going to achieve the level of quality and comfortability in life that I want to be at, regardless of what else I'm doing. So I'm chasing it. Nigga, mind you, Castile from here, all right, at the time, let's say Castile from like Burbank is probably 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's with like
without traffic. Yeah.
I'm leaving the school, the jail. Mind you, I can't just leave because there's checkpoints. I got to show my ID to get out of and shit like that. I'm leaving that bitch, hopping on the 5, going to Burbank, auditioning. Now, you know, when you go to audition, you don't just go right in. You might have to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes, right? I'm doing that shit, doing the audition, and hopping back on the road, going back up to school. No, going back up to school because I'm doing this on my lunch break, nigga. I got an hour.
Shit.
But I'm doing this on my lunch break, get off from work from there, go to 3 clubs that night. I might not even get up at any of them. But you got to put that FaceTime in.
Yeah, niggas got to see you. They're going to be like, oh, he popped up. He
out of sight, out of mind.
He didn't even ask tonight.
Out of sight, out of mind. So I got to put the FaceTime in. Mind you, my wife moved out here, but she don't know that. She don't understand the necessity for putting FaceTime in. She don't understand that this is part of the grind. It just look like you
just doing shit.
It just look like I'm out. It just looks like I'm out. So when you you explain it the best way you can. But again, mind you, I wasn't the best in communication back then. But I'm telling you, I got to do this. The book has got to see me. I got to be available just in case somebody don't pop up. I need to be in the presence, right? And she gets it, but she don't get it, right? So that's when you have to just like, all right, I'm gonna let my actions speak for me. Yeah. I'm gonna let the proof in 6 months speak for me. And within a year and a half, that's what happened. Right. People start calling me. Yeah. I got my own weekly night at the Comedy Union. Now people hitting me up to get on my show.
Yeah.
Now, and mind you, at the time, shout out to my nigga Enz Mitchell. I gotta call him today. He only booking the same comics.
Yeah.
And they hitters. Don't get me wrong. You know, you got
but
David
it's a rotation.
Arnold. It's a rotation. David Arnold, Chris Spencer, Royale Watkins,
Mm-hmm.
all the OG, Rodney Perry. Like, new niggas don't have a chance
Get your ass out of here.
in hell to try to get up here. I start my Wednesday night putting new niggas up.
Yeah.
Now we gonna close it out with some hitters, and I'm gonna bring the energy when I'm hosting. You ain't gotta never worry about that. The shit gonna be fired.
Right.
I'm not a host liner. I'm not one of those people that gotta do 7 minutes in between it. No, nigga, if the wave is there, bitch, put your hands together for your next set. Come on to the stage. I'm gonna keep rolling.
Right.
Hop on your motherfucking board and go crazy, nigga.
Yeah.
Because that's my job as a host. It's not to like convince these motherfuckers that I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
They fucking with me already because that's why they here every Wednesday. The energy gonna be right.
Yeah.
It's my job to present you, to let you build your audience and you go off.
Right.
That's my job. I'm gonna get my time. I'm doing my 10 up top. You got me fucked up. I'm doing that every time.
Every time.
I don't have to do that in between. If you suffering, I'm gonna do a little time in between, but I've never made it my goal to like attack somebody either. Like you gonna get that in the green room, nigga.
Right.
I ain't gonna try to over embarrass you. Now, if you going crazy, we liking you said, oh nigga, now I'm finna make an example.
Yeah, because we gotta keep the show going.
We gotta keep the show that, and not only that, but you know when you're bombing, right? So you got time to pivot, go somewhere else, or close out. But if you just keep digging that hole, now I gotta work at a deficit to get it back at level ground, and then I have to do more work to bring them up so I can bring the next comic up. If you make me work harder. Like if you just bomb, that's one thing. But if you nigga, you
I gotta tell you about yourself.
I got the nigga.
Yeah.
Because you gotta learn.
Yeah. Because it needs to be one of them moments where you either never do it again or you stop comedy.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You
it's
can do
no
it again.
In between.
Don't do it again here.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't bring that down. Don't bring that behavior up in my spot. This is my home club, baby. Yeah. And this is my night.
Facts.
Don't disrespect either one of them.
Facts. So like I said, we in the feeling, the healing, the planning, the action. That was just the feeling. We going into the healing now. And when I talk about the healing, right, I always ask people, what's your laugh away from home? And when I ask you, what's your laugh away from home? I'm saying, what's your joy in the battlefield? What's something that keeps you comfortable in incomfortabilities? And I heard some of it that it could be your wife that's your laugh away from home. Like for me, it's my son. And it's also just the idea that I'm called to do something bigger than what I believed at first. You know, that's my laugh away from home. Like when I'm dealing with bullshit, the fact that I know that I'm called to do something that I haven't even seen yet is what keeps me going, trying to figure it out and consolidate the things that are in my head. So what's your laugh away from home?
Molly.
Okay.
That shit feels so good.
Curveball.
Oh,
Molly, like the drug.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And I'm a ginger.
How does it make you feel?
Here's the thing. It's a lot of misconceptions.
Are you on fire?
Huh? No, I'm not
All
like
right,
that.
Okay.
I'm not one of the niggas that like. I've never had Molly and felt like, oh my God, I'm so freaky. I'm ready to do
like some jittery shit.
That shit just make me fucking so cool and relaxed. It's a different high than weed.
Yeah.
Like weed is a high where I'm just like, definitely a cerebral high. It's definitely a mind high, depending on which one you take.
Yeah.
But I be chilling. It feels cool. But Molly, nigga, my whole body just be like, that shit feel like a big ass exhale. Now, mind you can't do it. I don't recommend doing the shit, and I don't recommend doing it if you do it.
Yeah, this is not a drug podcast. This is actually a mental health podcast. But do whatever you got to do to keep your mental health strong.
That
by the
shit,
way.
that shit makes your brain swell and bleed every time you do it. Just mind you that. And if you're a ginger like myself, you have to take more than most people. Most people take a capsule, maybe 2 at the max. I have to take 3 to feel it. But I also have like when I drink. I would have to go through a half a bottle to like really like, all right, I need to slow down.
God damn.
But like gingers have to like we require more anesthesia than most people because we have a higher tolerance to damn near everything.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so, except for money. I can get a whole lot of money and never be satisfied.
Oh,
I want all
that.
the fucking money.
Keep going. You got 2 girlfriends. We can talk about that too.
I got a wife and a girlfriend. Big difference.
Yeah, the wife and the girlfriend. My bad.
But I mean we're poly non-hierarchy. So they
explain that. I'm not new to the terms.
You are new to the terms, you mean?
I mean, I'm not hip to the terms. I'm new to the terms.
In a polyamorous marriage or relationship, you could have it hierarchy or non-hierarchical. So that basically means like if it's a hierarchy, it's me and my person, my life partner, my spouse. And then any satellites would be under that and to the side.
Okay.
If it's non-hierarchy, then it's me, my partner, her partner, my partner, all on the same level.
But that's not y'all.
That I mean, we've been operating like that for the most part.
So it is non-hierarchy. Okay, bet. So she has a separate partner as well.
Yep.
So she has a boyfriend.
Yep.
Boy, y'all different.
We are. But listen, here's the thing.
I ain't mad at it.
No, I'm saying. not possible if you don't have communication.
I was about to say.
Let me tell you something. Poly, alt life, swingers, none of that shit is to save a relationship. In the sense of like y'all haven't done the work of communicating. Y'all haven't done the work of diving into those difficult conversations. This is not some shit you take lightly. You just jump into. First of all, you got to do a lot of reading. I could recommend some books. I would always recommend starting with Opening Up. That's the name of the book. Got 2 hands on it. It's an audio book and it's a physical book. You learn a lot about that, but it also tells you the difference between swingers and poly and open, because each one is different.
Yeah.
Each one is different and significantly different. And each one has its own spectrum. So it's not just like 3 different things. This one thing got 100 different options. This one thing got 100 different options. This one thing got 100 different options. And then the 100 different options are for both, but it might be a situation where only one of them is open, or only one of them is a swinger, or only one of them has a poly partner. Like, it's such a big spectrum. It's just like anything else. It's not one way to skin a cat. It's not a one way to get to success. That's why you have to do your research. And that's why you have to communicate, man. Like, this shit it's heavy. And that's why it's also easy to have ego death, because you have to have that. Like, I like watching. I like being watched.
That's different too.
Nah, man.
So you like watching your woman fuck her boyfriend?
I've never actually seen them.
Okay,
I like watching other people, and I like other people.
I was gonna say Tahir, I ain't gonna lie, my stomach, I started.
Hey, listen. For everybody that's like, oh, this nigga tripping.
Nah, I don't think you tripping.
No, hear me out. Because I know some niggas like, oh, man, that's that Hollywood shit. That's I don't fuck with that shit. Listen, if I was anywhere else in the world, I'll still be this. I ain't never had no problem getting pussy. Not once in my fucking life.
I ain't mad at it.
I've been funny. I can dress well, and I smell fucking immaculate. I know more about cologne than you probably learned in your 4 years of school if you chose to take higher education. I am me 100% of the time.
Yeah.
This ain't got nothing to do with Hollywood. This got to do everything with my wife and me sitting down and deciding we're gonna do our marriage the way we want to do our marriage.
Yeah.
Niggas will always be like, yo, you can't do that. Why?
Yeah.
And why do you care if you don't pay no bills in this bitch?
Yeah.
Not a single one.
Yeah.
You want me to take your opinion and consideration and you don't pay no bills in this bitch? Listen, I ain't yucking your yum. Whatever you do, whatever you eat to feel good after a fucked up day, do that shit. Whatever you need your partner to do for you after having a fucked up day, do that shit.
Yeah.
But you might get to a point where you be like, man, I've been married for 30 years or 20 years. I ain't never get to have a threesome. Then what you gonna do? You either gonna step out on your old lady, right? And you're gonna continue the perpetual cycle of starting family, or potentially starting families in around the corner or 2 blocks over or a town.
Like back in the day.
Or you can have a conversation with like, yo, I'm on to fuck another bitch. And she might be like, that's crazy. I've been thinking about fucking another bitch too. And then y'all find out that y'all got way more in common. I guarantee a lot of people, probably 60 to 75% of the people watching this, ain't had the conversation with their partner about what they like to watch in porn.
Yeah.
I guarantee, because it's not an easy conversation. And you can tell a stranger some shit like that. Like, yeah, I like watching POV. I like that extra wet shit, extra pretty. But when it comes to your partner, if they're not what you like to watch.
Yeah, it feels weird.
It feels weird having a conversation because it's like, oh, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people think that when you get into the alt life is because you're not satisfied what your partner can do. But I will remind you to go and look up the 80-20 rule.
Yeah.
Which is basically your partner provides 80% of what you need. But that 20% you might need to
dibble and dabble.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that, I'm not by any means encouraging anyone to get into the alt.
But it's fair though, because in your sense to defend you, you are not saying like, I'm the nigga with the girlfriend. Yeah. I got a wife. You said she got a boyfriend too. So it's some men that's out here with a girlfriend and would never let their wife have a boyfriend. So I'm sure that even in the midst of it for her, it gives her that sense of security where she like, oh, my man is confident enough with me and how I'm moving, and we have enough open communication for me to experience the same type of things he's experiencing, and us still experience each other and not have a beat be missed.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be, I needed some help.
Oh yeah.
I've been married for 12 years. I haven't fucked my wife once. She's always fucked me. This bitch is a monster.
That nigga said he ain't fucked his wife
I ain't
once.
fucked her once. She's always fucked me.
So you like anal shit?
Every nigga think what?
Nah, I'm joking.
I'm
joking.
No. That ain't really my thing. I'll be honest with you. I ain't never.
I'm sorry.
I can't. Because you know what it is.
I had to.
You did. As a comic,
sorry.
you had. I ain't lying. Don't be sorry.
I'm
Don't sorry. I don't take offense at anything like that, bro. Like it was a good joke. It was a well-timed joke.
If you like,
I like what was it?
Yeah.
Anal ain't never been attracted to me. Like,
no, I'm saying like you said she was fucking you. Like,
oh no, I ain't been pegged nothing like that. No.
Hey,
I'm just saying she's.
I know some. I got some friends.
Pull my pants, throw me on the bed, all that type of shit. She be pulling my drawers off, and I'm like, oh, I don't normally do this. And also, let me say this for the record: I'm not trying to recruit nobody.
Yeah,
I'm trying to educate and inform, because a lot of times in our community, we don't have people openly speaking about this. It's not something that we do.
Yeah.
It's not something that's promoted. It's not something that's admitted. It's still very taboo. It's still very dirty little secret and shit like that. And why?
That's because everybody's still a fake Christian.
Well, here's the thing. Christian Foundation also was what prevented me from jumping on board and fully investing very early on.
That's what I'm saying.
That's just a part of it.
People be feeling like the way that the Bible's set up and the way that marriage is set up, everything in there has to be black and white exactly like that. That shit is lessons and it's things that you apply to your life that you feel are for you and in your faith, and the rest of it is just information that you can choose to fuck with or not fuck with. I
grew up in a church. I was in the Sunshine Band. I was very active. I went to Bible study on Thursdays, choir rehearsal on Tuesdays. I did both services. I mean, I am a man of God.
Right.
Daphne Springs, very funny comedian. She has a very
fine as hell too, by the way.
Funny joke about how,
and I'm saying it out loud,
the Bible was written by all men. All the books of the Bible were written by men. So we really don't know what was going on because men don't pay attention to detail.
No, that's real.
And it's a very funny joke. But a lot of times the Bible is used to support claims based on things that are in there and can be misinterpreted or used to fit whatever point you're trying to prove.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that man and woman should only be together and you should only have one wife. I'm not saying that's wrong and that's not in the Bible. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying a lot of times is left up into interpretation for certain things in the Bible. And I'm one of those people that's like, I'm going to do me and not hurt anyone. It's impossible not to offend someone. So you going through life worrying, oh, I hope I don't offend them. I hope people don't get mad at me. They killed Jesus, nigga.
Yeah, facts.
He was trying to save the world. He was sitting there to save the world, and they killed him. So who am I to think that you ain't gonna judge me?
And whenever I Bible crunch, or whenever I find the people that are Bible crunchers or just spiritual warriors or whatever, the scripture I use for whatever I'm talking about is Luke 1:37. Nothing is impossible with the presence of God. So literally, if I have God on me and I'm wearing God's armor and I'm taking God in my faith and I'm putting God in all of my actions, there's nothing it's a limitless supply of things that are possible on both sides, dark and positive.
Yeah, man.
You get what I'm saying? So I tell people, get it how you live, be faithful, don't hurt nobody, and just do what keeps you happy. But to transition, so have you ever failed at something that you thought was really for you and you had to like give it up? And how did you deal with that failure? Like, what was the process like of kind of being like, you know what, maybe that's not for me?
You know what? The only thing I feel like I've failed at were maybe some past relationships. And giving that up was like, yeah, that wasn't for the best of me. That wasn't for my journey. Like, there are a lot of times we meet people and the sex might be fire, or they're really attractive. You like having this attractive person with you. They're fun to be around. Are they challenging you?
Yeah, their spirit ain't calling you to something though.
Oh, it's not. It could be the spirit. It could be that. It also could be like you find yourself stagnant. Y'all not growing together. Y'all not excelling. Like, y'all get into it over stupid stuff. Yeah, y'all not on the same level mentally. Whatever it is, if it didn't work out, it was for a reason.
Right.
So, excuse me. I always give my wife the praise because my career really started to flourish after I got with her. And I'm not saying that she's my lucky charm.
They say that for men in general, though.
But she challenged me to grow. There weren't a lot of people that challenged me before. She challenged me to communicate better.
Yeah.
She challenged me to be more effective.
Yeah.
And affection. So I was one of those people where I didn't grow up with hugs. So when people hug me just out of genuine love, that shit
it's overstimulating.
It creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, that shit feel like,
bro, to the point where when my wife and my daughter moved in with me out here in LA, I remember early on, maybe like 2 weeks in, my daughter had got home from school and my wife went and picked her up. When I came home, she ran up and hugged me, and I'm standing with my bag, and she comes and hugs me on my side, and I froze because I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I had only hugged women like at a funeral, or when we was about to get nasty.
Fair.
I didn't get that display of love, so it was so foreign to me. Even as an adult, I didn't know. I had to reprogram myself on how to be affectionate as a partner, how to be affectionate as a father, how to be affectionate as a friend, because I wasn't used. I'm a clap the hand, tap the back type of nigga.
Yeah.
Male or female.
Facts.
Because I just so, but even with all of that said, my wife challenged me to be better, to grow, to learn. My wife despises the term happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Because that means that you're going to do whatever it takes to keep her happy, in a sense of you're not going to
do the work for yourself.
No, not saying that's like you're not going to have an opinion. You're just going to go with it. All right, well, if you want to do it, then that's fine. Hey, what are you going to eat tonight? Whatever you want cooking, I'm fine with that. My wife is like, I didn't marry a yes man. I don't want a yes man. I want an equal partner that's going to have an opinion about what's going on in and around this household.
Yeah.
The longevity of our marriage.
Yeah.
The success and the ascension of our growing and our financial wellness and all of that. I want a partner that's going to invest the time and effort. So we'd say happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah.
We take care of each other.
I love that.
That's a big thing for me. And one more thing, because we had hopped off the topic, but I just want to circle back real quick. When I talk about the alt life, polyamory, open swingers, all of that, again, not recruiting at all. What I'm trying to do is educate and inform, because we all heard the rumors about Will and Jada before she came out with the whole entanglement thing. We all heard. They didn't confirm it.
Right.
And at that level, maybe you can.
Yeah.
But there are not a lot of people in our industry that look like us that will try to help guide you or give you information or give you research. Even if you don't follow my Patreon, because we talk about a lot of this shit on my Patreon. Even if you don't follow my Patreon, if you don't take nothing else, but take that book, open it up. If you've thought about it, if you're curious about it, just start with opening up. And I'm gonna give you the author's name too, so you can really find it. Because my whole thing is that a lot of times we aren't privy to things because we haven't been told about it or exposed to it.
Yeah.
Skiing.
Yeah.
Snowboarding.
Yeah.
Water skiing. Parasailing.
Yeah.
Skydive. I've done all of these things because I was exposed to it, but I had to get out of my normal square, my normal society, to be exposed to it. Ain't nobody fucking water skiing in East St. Louis.
Nah, but ain't nobody getting shot or tied up or burned either.
Well, I was.
That's what I'm saying. You one of them ones.
Hey man, so the book is called Opening Up, and the author is Tristan Taramino. So this, It looks like it's two stick figures on the front, and they're holding hands. They got the heart right there.
And what's the book called again?
It's called Opening Up.
Opening Up.
And it's a great read. There's a workbook that goes along with it that you and your partner can do.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to ask the questions, kind of guide you through it.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, when you're talking about something like this, go into it with an open mindset. If you know you're the super jealous type, this might not be for you. And that's completely fine. There are some people that prefer to pour their milk in the bowl before they pour their cereal. I don't yuck their yum. That's how you live your life, then go ahead and do your thing. People have different ways of doing things. And just because it's different doesn't mean you should down it. And just because you're feeling bad that day doesn't mean you should down them.
Right.
Sometimes as humans, we need to feel like we're above somebody else, so we talk shit about somebody else. That ain't making you no money. That ain't gonna bring you no peace.
Facts.
That's it.
What's the best advice you've ignored?
Ignored?
Yeah, what's the best advice that you've ignored, and why did you ignore it? But like,
everybody.
There you go.
As a comic, we want everybody laughing. We want to see the gums and front teeth of everybody in that fucking audience. And realistically, that's just not going to happen. Even somebody like Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
playing stadiums,
Yeah.
not theaters, stadiums.
That one
Even
person
somebody
not
like that,
laughing, you want them to motherfucking laugh.
that's the person that you focus in on.
You looking at them the whole time like
the whole fuck. And why
Yeah.
do we do that?
It's natural.
It's
though.
a sickness.
It's natural. It's like seeing a deer about to cross the road. You be like, you bet not. Like
because we want to feel like we're being the most effective. But the reality is there are some people that just not going to like it or they don't think it's funny. I would rather, and this is what changed my comedy as well. This made me start getting more real, made me start getting more personal and writing jokes from a different gaze.
Yeah.
I would rather somebody love me or hate me.
Like to be able to pick one.
Just like the Bible. And the Bible said, be hot or cold, for if you lukewarm, I'll spit you out.
Yeah.
I would rather you love me or hate me than be like, oh, he was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was a one comic, I don't remember the name. He was cool.
Yeah.
Nah, bitch, you gonna remember my name.
Yeah, for sure.
You gonna remember the name because you gonna love me.
Yeah.
And if you hate me, then that's cool.
But hating you is still a part of love, though.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, a lot of
I tapped into something you don't like.
And that is, I tapped into something that you love, but you haven't been able to control what you love about it yet. Like,
or it was uncomfortable for you. And it's something that you need to address in your own time, which is still a win for me.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, bro. Like, it's no way you can please everybody. Don't even try.
Yeah.
Going into this with that mindset is detrimental to you. Because then, like we said, you start focusing on the wrong shit. Now, if I see somebody not laughing and shit, I don't know if they didn't laugh at the first joke. Right. I just know that joke didn't hit as hard to them. They could have laughed at the first 3 jokes and just that one flew over their head. Right. And they could still finish the show. I mean, still finish my set and have a great time. But I guarantee every set that I do, you're going to fucking remember me.
Right.
The name, 1 or 2 or 3 of the jokes, the outfit, the fact that I was personable after the show.
Yeah.
I was cool. You walked up, we took pictures, we laughed. You told me about what you seen me on before. I'm going to be that nigga because I'm appreciative of your time. I'm appreciative of your listening. I'm appreciative that you gave me the chance to share the art that God filled me with.
Yeah.
I don't take this shit lightly, bro. I really feel like we superheroes.
And a lot of people, and it's super dope that you're like that. And I've seen you be like that. Like even when you saw me my first time, I think you were there for my first Chocolate Sundays.
Yeah.
And you came up to me like, yo, you funny as fuck. And your brother, Chef Mello, like he, you know what I'm saying? He had been told me about you, but to be able to see you, and I remember locking in and getting your number in, and in my head, I was like, all right, bet. He gonna be the first person I throw my show with when I end up throwing my show, which is why we got the show March 28th. Shameless plug. I'm still doing it.
Patty Cat Studios, baby.
But like in the midst of like you being how you are in the industry and being that person that is looked at like that, like how do you stay motivated to stay in that realm when you don't get the response that you want? Because all of us as comics have either bombed before, had those uncomfortable situations. Like, what about it? Or do you look at it like from a perspective of maybe the person that wasn't into what you were giving out was just not in the moment of what you were presenting? Because there's moments where your wife could be talking to you and you just be zoned out for the moment, and it's like you might have had to hear it again, and you in the moment of comedy though, you can't hear it again, so they might not have laughed at the first 3 jokes, but the 4th one, they finally in a space where they not thinking about their child or their spouse or what the fuck they got going on. Because we don't, as comics, I feel like we get kind of selfish too when we go up there trying to tell people about the ideas that we thinking about at the house, and we not thinking about what this person had to do to get here. Like, how much was parking when y'all came? Like, are you even eating food? Like, are you broke and did you spend your last to come see me? Yeah. Like, all of those things go into being a comic. And I feel like we are the closest thing to preachers in a sense, where we are literally helping you cleanse for the moment. You know what I'm saying? So you being a person that is personable and willing to take those pictures and give those hugs and be willing to tap in with people, it's like, it's a beautiful thing, bro. Because even as a young comic, you coming up to me, bro, it's so many comics that won't tell you that you did a good job. Yeah. It's so many comics that, especially at a high level, in a professional setting, at a place where niggas is smacking that been smacking, and then there's a random nigga that just come up and smack. Niggas will not give you the light of day when it comes to telling you, hey, you're on the right path to being something great. Keep going. I don't know what you got going on, but sir, you're funny. Yeah. And that's how you came to me. And I'm like, nigga, it's to hear more.
Let me ask you a question. How'd that make you feel when I came to you?
I was like, boy, them days of writing them tags out. Been working my boy and then get his number, tap in with him, figure out who he can put you in front of. Cause I'm like, bruh, in my head, like, as a comic, to be a comics, to have a comic come tell you did great means that during your set, not only were they entertained, they were looking at how people took to you and how people responded. And they probably had tags for some of the shit you were saying. Like, some of the shit you were saying was good enough for them to be like, hey, like, that was some good shit you thought. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
There's some meat on that bone,
For real.
So that it made you feel seen. It made you feel appreciated,
100%.
Right? And you got my number. You contacted me. You tapped in with me. I responded. You know what I'm saying? When it went a little long, when I didn't respond, I hit you back and was like, yo, I apologize for the delay.
I already know.
Right?
But I'm going to ask. I'm one of them.
Yeah, but it made you feel seen.
Yeah.
It made you feel appreciated.
For sure.
It validated the work that you had did.
Yeah.
That feeling is why I did it. Because I didn't always get that growing up.
Yeah.
Coming up in the game. But I know how valuable that is.
For sure. It keeps you going.
It
keep you going, bro. Like,
and guess what? It didn't cost me nothing.
Come on now.
It don't cost me nothing.
Now,
and guess what? It don't take shit out of my pocket to let you know you doing the right fucking thing and then you on your game. That don't take
And it only took you 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah. So to answer the latter part of your question / statement, that's why I do it. It don't cost me nothing. And you don't know what that means to a person to hear that encouragement. Even if you might not know me. I didn't know how much you knew about me, but I was just like, I was coming to you as a peer.
Yeah, no,
not
but
as
for
a
real,
big bro. I'm coming as a peer, like, nigga, hey, you on your shit, boy.
Dead ass. Because I even told you, like, after you told me I was funny, I was like, yeah, I know of you through All Deaf, but like, my boy be cooking for you, Chef Mello. That's my brother. You was like, oh yeah, I fuck with Chef.
That's my nigga. Yeah, absolutely.
You feel me? So it was dope to just even have the interaction and going into that, like,
hold on, wait, real quick, because I want to talk about like how stay motivated. You asked how I stay motivated in comedy when you do notice that somebody's not laughing and shit like that. And as I said, like, you have to understand, like, that person might have laughed at the first couple jokes and just hit that one like that. My job overall is to make people forget what's going on the other side of that door.
For sure.
Right? And everything might not land with them, but my job overall is to make them, for the most part, forget what's going on the other side of that door.
At least get their mind working.
Right. Now, how many times have you, with the exception of going to an actual movie theater, how many times have you, in the last week, watched a show without looking at your phone?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I could tell you that honestly. Not at all.
I know.
Even at the movies, I'll have a random vibration and pull my phone out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can't get mad anymore at a person not laughing at, because like you said, they might have missed the setup. They might have missed the punchline. Mm-hmm. They might have looked away. They might have checked their phone. And then I'm not focusing on that. I can't control that.
Yeah.
It's out of my control.
Right.
You asked me what was one piece of advice that I ignored that I should have listened to. What I want to give you right now is a piece of advice that I listened to and has helped me tremendously. If something's going wrong in your life and you can't fix it, don't worry about it. It's something you can do.
Yeah.
Let it play out and then you go from there.
Let that shit roll off.
If there's something going wrong in your life and you can fix it, don't worry about it. Because you know what to do to fix it.
Yeah.
You exerting extra effort and mind, mental warfare to this situation that you can't do, the anxiety that you can't do anything until it plays out.
Because you feel heavy.
Yeah, like, you do.
Worry and just...
and I'm saying this in just like, it's easy to do. I know it's not. I know it's not easy to do. But I'm trying to encourage you to like make peace with things that you have no control over.
Correct.
Let it play out, and when it all lands and the dust settles, then address it.
For sure.
And if you can do something about the shit, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this. Now I'm gonna take care of it. Now the plans that you might have might not go as planned, but you have a plan. You have somewhere to start. All right, so don't worry. I'm gonna take care of it when I can take care of it. I'm gonna answer questions. I'm gonna see if I can get on the payment plan. I'm gonna see who I can talk to. Whatever. If you got a plan, then don't worry about it. Keep doing what the fuck you. You cannot control everything that's going on in your life, and walking around worried and stressed about it is not gonna fix it. It's not gonna help you mentally. It's only gonna add stress to your life and your heart. It's only gonna create anxiety that's gonna keep you up at night. You're not gonna sleep well. I use a CPAP. And I know how important sleep is.
Yeah.
If you're not getting REM level sleep,
yeah,
where your brain gets a chance to release those toxins every night that you get every day from going through life, then After a while, your brain starts to break down. It deteriorates your body because you're not getting adequate sleep. You're not getting adequate sleep because you're stressing about shit that you have no control over.
100%.
It's nothing you can do.
Yeah, some shit is just out your hands.
Yeah, once you start adjusting your mindset into moving to, and again, I know it's not easy. I say this shit in jest, but I still struggle with this shit to the day. But these are the things that I remind myself of every day. This is what I got to do. Today, I said I wasn't going to talk negatively to myself at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say, oh, that's stupid. I shouldn't make that video.
Yeah.
Oh, no, this outfit is dumb. I shouldn't wear this. I'm not going to do that at all.
Right.
At all. I'm going to try to do this for 24 hours, not talk negative to myself.
Right.
And if I can make it 24 hours, I'm going to do it 48 hours.
48.
If I don't make it 24 hours, tomorrow, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to try again to do it 24 hours. And then I'm going to turn that 24 to 48.
Yeah.
And I'm going to double that and double that and double that to the point where I am only manifesting positive things in my life.
Correct.
I'm not feeding anything negative into my life.
Correct.
I am going to manifest every fucking thing that I want. And another thing is, know what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Niggas say, oh, I just want to get on. I just want to get on.
Be specific.
Be specific.
I swear to God, because that shit'll come and it'll be general as hell. And you'll be like,
if you just say, I just want to get on, well, you got on the show, nigga. Is that on? No. Because I still got bills. Then say what the fuck you want. The universe will listen to you specific. I want a corner office on the 10th floor. I want a mahogany desk from the Redwoods to California. I'll pay extra for the shipping. I want that bitch to be 8 feet long. I want 4 drawers on each side, 2 center drawers.
Yeah.
I want locking mechanisms so I can access private areas of the drawers when no one else can without this key.
He's not lying.
I want ceiling to floor windows, tempered glass with tint so the sun doesn't ignore me.
Yeah.
I want to be that specific down to the fucking threads in the fiber of the carpet in the. I am going to be so specific with my wants to the universe where there is no mistaking it. When it arrives at my door, I know it's exactly what the fuck I ordered, just like I went on Amazon.
Right.
Because why else do it?
I mean,
and it helps you when you scream to the universe. When you scream to the universe, exactly what you want. When other things show up, you say,
"Oh, that wasn't for me." You already know that ain't for you.
You know it is for you. You know it ain't for you.
Yeah.
This motherfucker come with this opportunity for this. That's not what I want. The people that recognize me from All Def Digital, from Great Taste to Dad Jokes to Roast Me, I get a lot of people asking me like, "Why you don't do Roast Me no more?" First of all, it's a young man's game. I'm 40. What I look like? I'm not that nigga. That's number one. Number two, I didn't like the energy he was inviting to my life.
Yeah.
I'm on Roast Me. Niggas know me for Roast Me. Niggas coming up to me. I'm in the airport, whether I'm with my family or with friends or whatever. Niggas come up to me and the first thing they say, not, hey, what's up? I like your work. Not hi. Not any of that. They're like, boy, I'm finna roast your motherfucking ass, boy. I'm finna roast your goofy ass, nigga. Hey, I don't like that energy.
First of all, sir, I'm going through some shit right now currently.
Yeah, nigga. Like, you talking like that in front of my motherfucking pastor? Don't
come on now.
Some motherfucking nigga of God, bro. Like, but in all seriousness, I'm not doing anything that I don't want that energy in return.
Yeah.
So when we roast, when Doe was on Roast Me and all that, we roasting our friends.
Yeah.
I'm not roasting some random niggas in the club because I know my friend's temperament.
Yeah.
I don't know your temperament. I might fuck around and talk about your small tooth, and that's an insecure thing for you, topic for you. Now you want to pull weapons or draw guns or whatever the fuck. I'm not doing that, bro.
Right.
I'm not inviting that energy in my life. And sign up real quick. I'm going to let you go on. I got to give props to this nigga Doughboy. We in his studio right now, him and his business partner studio. This nigga Doughboy, you know how I learned to take a joke? Like when the niggas roasting me and I lean into it and I'll tag up that joke and act out their roast.
Yeah.
From Doughboy.
Yeah.
This nigga Doughboy was amazing at taking a joke at his expense.
Yeah.
He was also amazing at catchphrases.
Yeah.
This nigga Doughboy had a catchphrase every month that caught on like fucking wildfires, no pun intended. But I get my beak wet. I dabble. Let me dabble in it. Oh, yeah. The shit was so fucking impactful that 10 years later, I still remember it.
Yeah, come on.
Now. And the nigga ain't... When you are that fucking relatable...
Yeah.
influential, it's a special skill, bro.
Yeah.
That nigga Doe got quotable. Yeah, the nigga got quotables, bro.
For sure.
And it's and you ask, how do I stay motivated? I want to get to the point where I am the people that I admire the skills of.
Yeah.
I don't need everything for Doe, but the way that nigga thinks when he comes up with quotables, the way he uses pitch, the way the tone changes, like, nigga, I got to figure out how to do this.
Yeah.
I want to, if I could pull a little bit from here, a little bit from here, a little bit from here,
Yeah.
and I can increase my territory and my arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, I'm be unstoppable.
100%.
And I already learned how to like lean into a joke and take a joke from this nigga.
Yeah.
Because this niggas would say, oh, Doe, you fat. And that nigga would like go off on a tangent about food or some shit like that. But he was so good. Like, you could have the fire ass roast, but this nigga act out gonna make it feel like it was his shit.
Yeah, he done took the joke.
Nigga, he's so good at it. It's not even fair how fucking dope this nigga is with the shit.
Bro,
and he can rap.
I love that.
Nigga.
I love that.
So that's how I stay motivated. I see people that I admire. I'm like,
Yeah.
how can I get, like, what does this nigga read to make his mind think like that? What does he do on the weekends? What is he listening to make his mind get to that point? Have a conversation with him. I want to perfect everything in my arsenal.
Yeah.
And that's how I stay motivated.
So in the midst of you speaking on being more positive in your life and being in a place of manifesting the things that are positive that you want specifically, like, how has being healthier physically helped? Because I know that you've been going through your whole weight loss journey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to talk about the Ozempic.
No, Ozempic, baby. Big OZ gang, baby. OZ's in this bitch, nigga. I'm down 56 pounds since the third week of September, nigga.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that shit, no.
It's a real thing.
Ozempic has been an amazing assistant in my weight loss journey.
Yeah.
And I've tried many of the time. Me and Doe have been on the road together.
Yeah.
And we had a weight loss competition. I was just going to the gym and shit like that. And that shit is cool, but the moment you fall off, if you miss a week or a week and a half because of your schedule,
Yeah.
which we all deal with as traveling comedians, your shit's fucked up. What I had to do was, one, get 100% serious about it. When I decided I was going to take Ozempic, and I talked to my health provider and also my health counselor, and they told me what I should and shouldn't do on my diet. I did it immediately. Cold turkey.
Yeah.
No fried foods.
Yeah.
No carbs.
Right.
No additional sugars. I basically went keto.
Were you pre-diabetic?
No.
Okay.
I was just pre-fat.
Facts. I mean, Ozempic is for
No, it is a diabetic drug. Yeah, but
yeah.
I was pre-fat ass. I was just fat, and I was on my way to fat ass. I started third week of September. I was 260.
Damn.
Yeah,
You little as fuck right now.
yeah. But I wore it where nobody ever knew I was 260. I layer
Yeah.
up, and the way I dress, you wouldn't know it. But now I'm 211. After
I feel like your face is a little skinnier.
oh yeah. I took headshots probably like 2 months into it.
Yeah.
I don't even look the same. I need to take new headshots.
Facts.
But because I changed because here's the thing, a lot of people think Ozempic just does all the work. If you don't change the diet,
yeah, you still got to be disciplined.
you still have to be disciplined.
So what kept you in your discipline? Because I know you've done so much shit from, the street shit you went through at 14, the baby situation, nigga. You was fucking in organizations in college. You played on a tennis team in college.
Yep.
So how did you stay disciplined throughout your career to just even keep your head going with everything? Like, as far as like you, like, even with the weight loss and everything, like, how have you stayed disciplined with all of the things that you juggling, and what's the key to the discipline as we start wrapping up this episode too?
Going into 2025, back in September when I decided to do this, I said, I'm about to do everything opposite that I've done this year and the previous years before.
Yeah.
So if I'm saying I'm gonna do this shit, I'm gonna go to the fucking wall with super discipline.
Right.
I'm gonna do everything that I hadn't done in the past. Because if everything I've done in the past got me to this point, if I switch it up right now and do the opposite or do something different, then I can expect different results. If I do the same thing that I've been doing, slide in my diet, all right, well, I've been doing this good for 2 weeks, so I'm gonna reward myself this day. A lot of people, they have cheat days.
Yeah.
And you should have a cheat meal, not a cheat fucking day.
Yeah.
A cheat meal is just for that meal, not a whole day.
Yeah. A whole day of bullshit.
A whole day of bullshit.
It's
not
crazy.
even slip and gang. Nah, I'm doing everything that I hadn't done before because I want different results.
Gotcha.
So if I was disciplined 75%, 70%, this time I'm gonna be disciplined 100%.
100.
I want to get a different result than I've ever got before.
And you gotta go you gotta go almost harder than 100% just to even really get the results.
I'm 40, nigga.
Yeah,
that shit ain't falling off like it used to.
It ain't.
So if I want to see the maximum results, I gotta give it the maximum.
Exhausted
effort.
every day.
Yes, every fucking time, bro.
So if you had to give Ozempic a slogan, what would it be?
Ozempic. That shit be hitting, nigga.
If I had to give Ozempic a slogan, it'll be Ozempic. You can die or be these other unhappy motherfuckers. Because it's a diabetes drug. Diabetes, whatever.
I
anyway.
See what you're saying.
This is the last part of the
He's a rapper, too. He had a new single drop 2 weeks ago. Y'all check that out. Yeah, Papa Hugo.
You know the vibes, man. We at Laugh Away from Home, advocating comedy for mental health. And this is the end of the podcast where I ask you to pick one, cry or shit talk.
Cry or shit talk? I'm gonna pop my shit.
Cool. Shit talk. So I used to say roast your biggest hater, but I'm giving a new light on it. I want you to roast yourself in a form of motivation for whenever you need to look back at this episode and see like what you were telling yourself you were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like if I was supposed to do it for myself, if I pick shit talk right now, it would be, Hugo, stop bullshitting with yourself and be more disciplined. Wake up early, start working out, eat right, and keep pushing the fucking envelope like you've been doing. Don't be no bitch. Let niggas know who the fuck you are. You with God. You got it.
See, that sounds like motivation. I would if I was to roast myself right now. It's shit talking. Okay, shit talking, right. So I'd be like, you old disciplined ass nigga. Hey, this nigga be doing what the fuck he supposed to be doing, right? Old healthy eating ass nigga. Hey, nigga, what you trying to do? Live to be 100? Oh, fuck ass nigga. Oh, being successful. Setting yourself up for success for you and your family, nigga, breaking generation curses ass nigga.
Yeah.
Who you think you are?
Who you think you are?
Oh, smelling good ass milk. Oh, you got stocks. You got a portfolio.
Oh, you got a wife and a girlfriend.
Oh, this nigga right here. Hey, this nigga thinking something. That's what I would do.
All right.
And that's where I'm at with it, man.
I love that, man. Well, this is my guest, man. Special guest, super dope comic, writer, fucking a super father, a super husband, a super man in the industry. You gonna see a lot from him. He got a lot of shit going. Hopefully they put him back in elementary and give him an even bigger role. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? We claiming all that shit in 2025, man. But it's to hear more. Yeah. It's Worldwide Hugo. And remember, before I end, it's already all right.